Hi, I'm Ashley with Campbell. Thanks for investing your time to help your community be a great place to live. Before you watch the video, make sure to click the subscribe button so that we can help you make educated decisions as a board member.
Thank you so much, Ashley, and welcome, Campbell Property Management. We've been doing work for you guys for many, many years. You've been in business since 53. I've been 83. So we're 40 years and you got 30 years on us, but we really appreciate the relationship of Campbell and everything all the business over the years. So my background is actually in roofing. I started when I was in high school and college, and my boss had me open a branch right out of the University of Arizona in Atlanta, Georgia in 1979. Moved me down here in 1982 to take over an existing branch, and that's when I borrowed 15 grand in 1983 and started with one pickup truck and grew it to what it is today. So we are now in 7 locations, 7 branches around the state. We have 6 of them. We actually own the property. We don't just open branches and close them like a lot of national accounts. And so we'll talk a little bit about the upcoming seminars as well. So we have the coatings coming up. Everybody's been familiar with coatings. You see it on TV, on Fox. There's a gentleman advertising all the time. He's gone from a GE applicator to a tropical applicator to you're going to get a silicone roof. Coatings are very technical. It's not about the white, it's about the preparation. 80% of roof leaks are from the penetration. So you got to go in and take care of the leaks first. So coatings are up and coming, they're good, but they have to be the proper roofing lot to it. So that seminar is going to be great. HVAC, we've had our own air conditioning division since 1994. So you're going to learn a lot about HVAC. Then we have our solar energy business. We are the largest solar installer in the state of Florida, both rooftop and carport. So solar and roofing go very well together. Rooftop safety, what do you need to know about the roof that you're managing? What's the safety requirements for parapet walls? And what do you need to know to make sure as a manager your property's safe and you don't get OSHA coming out or someone getting hurt and suing you? And then roof asset management, we have a state-of-the-art advanced access to get your roof up to speed and be able to track the maintenance and what's going on with those roofs. So that's a great one as well. Top things that the property manager needs to know is coming up as well. And then hurricane season, we do another one. So here we are just talking about where we are. These are my 2 sons below us, Michael and Kevin. They're in the business. They're twins, 40 years old. My grandson, Mac, and my other grandson that's 2, just turned 2, is not in the picture. But this is a little bit about our company, who we are, and what we do. So some of the services we offer, like I said, we have the HVAC, we have lightning, re-roofing, repairs and maintenance, coatings, roof asset management, electrical division. We have 40 electricians on staff that we mainly work for our solar division. So we're not going to come to a condo and do electrical work, but we do have that capability in case of emergency. And then the solar energy we spoke about. Locations are our home office since '83 is Fort Lauderdale. We have the Jupiter Palm Beach as a service small scope crew. Sanford is a large re-roofing, maintenance, everything branch up there. Tampa as well. They're both doing about 20 to 25 million a year. Jacksonville is another service small scope crew. Fort Myers service small scope crew, and as well as Miami-Dade. So we have all these branches, 70 service trucks around the state. In case a hurricane hits, we're able to service any area in the state of Florida. So with that said, I'm going to next go to some award-winning. We pride ourselves. I started the company with the slogan "Committed to Quality," but everybody says that these days. But what we have now is experience matters, and that means our experience to our clients has been one of the best, and we show it in award-winning craftsmanships, as you can see here. A lot of awards for work we do, and every job to us is going to be a showcase, like it's going to win an award. So we're proud of our craftsmanship. We have quality control, the largest quality control out of any roofing contractor in the country, as well as safety as well. So we really take pride in getting manufacturers guarantees, getting tens, and really putting on a quality roof and make everybody proud and safe. That's a big part, safety, not only for our employees, but the properties we're working on. We all know how important it is to, as property managers, to keep the areas clean, safe, make sure there's no nails in the driveway and all that. So maintaining your properties so your associates at the condo really appreciate the work that we do. So next, I'd like to introduce Clint Sockman. Clint started, he was a family, I'm sorry. One thing is we'd like you to stay on, and at the end, we're going to have some nice raffles at the end for some ad tags and some gift certificates. So please stay on. And now I'm going to introduce Clint Sockman, who has been with us for going on 20 years, came from a family business in Ohio and in roofing and started as a project manager. And now he's worked himself all the way up to a partner and a vice president, runs the Advanced Green Technologies, and also overseeing some of the roofing operations estimating. So Clint, take it away.
Thanks, Rob, and thanks everybody for coming out. It seems like we have a great crowd and hopefully a really valuable topic to you today. To go over some of the learning objectives we're trying to accomplish, we're going to hit on how and when to budget for roof repairs, budgeting for roof maintenance and replacements, using technology in the roofing business. This is something that's kind of really on the radar with us a lot today. We're going to talk about our ramp programs, but as we're kind of on the dawn of technology and construction, looking at drones for thermal imagery, inspection software that's out there. Technology is really coming into roofing and construction in general. So that's going to be another one. And last but not least, time for Q&A as well. We're hoping to leave some time there so you can get your questions answered that are specific to the topics that we're covering. First up, re-roofing, budgeting and planning, the questions that we need to gather when we kind of, go down this road of looking at our expenses for re-roofing. First thing, taking a good inventory of your roof. What is the roof system that you have right now currently? What is the condition that it's in? Is it blistering, crazing, cracking? Are the flashings disoriented? Have you lost your granules? And then also looking at leak history. Do you have structural slope? What is the structural deck made of? When was the last time it was inspected? Taking a good inventory of the roof HVAC units that are there, getting a condition assessment that are on them. It's very important to document that before we get started so you can have a good record of the condition it was in before your roofing contractor came in place. Do you need to consider doing an upgrade to your HVAC units while you're doing your roof replacement? It's a very smart time to do it if it's needed. What warranty do you have in place? Quantities of conditions and sheet metal conditions, flashing conditions. These are all things that we need to ask ourselves before you start your budgeting process, because it's important for us to get a good baseline of the conditions that are there. So once we gather that information up, the next question we have to ask ourselves is it time to repair this roof, to extend the lifetime, or is it time to replace this roof? When we're asking those questions, we look at things like your service history. What kind of annually are you expending right now on repairs? If it's minimal, most likely we're at a point where you can continue to repair this roof, get extended time out. But if you're spending, $15, $10, $20, $30,000 a year on repairs, that's an important part of this equation. The maintenance history, what has been done in the past to continue. Roofs, we make analogies a lot about, it's a lot like changing the oil in your car. It's about going to the doctor to get a health check before there's a problem. Roofing is no different. The main difference is it's often out of sight and out of mind, so it doesn't get addressed in time. But maintenance has a dramatic effect on the investments that we make on the rooftop. We always ask the question of the investment horizon and the ownership needs. Is this a property that's going to be potentially sold in 5 years or torn down, and we're really just looking for a short-term stopgap? The answer to the solution that you're looking for, you're budgeting for, could be dramatically different than something that's a long-term hold inside a portfolio, or it's a condominium that has a longer-term vision. You could be designing and budgeting to different solutions depending on that answer. Obviously, the current roof condition. Is that condition affecting the business operations or the occupant's operation? Private industry could have high sensitivity to leaks if it's high dollar valued equipment inside, or if this is your, your residence where you're living. If it's a warehouse, maybe the sensitivity is lower and you can make a budgeting decision differently. What roof type it is. One thing that people often think affects when it's time to budget for a repair or replacement are things like roof age and the warranty. And we actually put those in this bucket of kind of, they're factors, but they're not key factors. We see roofs designed to last 30 years need to be replaced in 15. And we see roofs designed to last 10 or 15 years, lasting 20 or 25. And we'll talk about why here in a little bit. But after we ask ourselves all those questions, we're going to come up with some answers. Maybe this roof can be maintained and we need to be looking at a preventative maintenance plan, making some maybe major repairs up front and putting it on a maintenance plan to get yourself a longer runway. Or maybe this roof can be restored and repaired with a coating or a more significant scope project and get you back into a maintainable state. Or maybe this can't be rehabilitated. There's been excessive moisture infiltration. The roof has degraded to a point to where coatings and other restoration techniques don't work. And then we have to budget for this final replacement. But until we ask ourselves these questions up top, you can't really develop a kind of holistic strategy around budgeting. Next slide. Yeah. So once we've asked ourselves those questions, we really want to look at what is the cost of ownership and what does this mean to us? The graphic on the right really kind of goes through the whole life cycle cost and the analysis that we put together of kind of how this wheel works. But obviously we install a new roof and you hope to get 20, 25, even 30-year warranties are available in the marketplace right now. And once that roof is turned over to ownership, you now have the duty to maintain it, both from a warranty perspective and from maintaining the investment perspective. We maintain that roof year to year. We inspect it, make sure our drainage is working, make sure our sealants aren't failing, make sure our walls above our flashings are intact and not allowing moisture into the system. And if we do that, that 30-year roof will actually last 30 years. One way to short circuit that lifetime and go straight into either having to restore or replace is to fail to do maintenance. We see that maintenance step often being foregone, and then we end up really in an accelerated schedule towards moving towards a coating or a roof replacement. But you can tell you some interesting facts that go into all of these conversations. The statistics show that 80% of all roof assets fail prematurely from a warranty perspective due to a lack of maintenance or poor installation in the original install. When you look at the capital expenses from roofing, that is a significant investment that's really being underappreciated. Unplanned repairs and reactive maintenance expenses, 3 to 5 times more costly than planned maintenance. So when we talk about ramp programs upcoming, an asset management program, understand that you're able to cut your cost somewhere between 60 and 80% by planning your maintenance out rather than having reactive maintenance and larger scope projects early on in the life. Proactively maintained roof systems last on average 21 years compared to 13 years for reactive maintenance, meaning we're often skipping that phase 2 and phase 3 of the life cycle of a roof by failing to maintain that roof, causing premature failure and accelerated expenses. And roof replacement is often the single most expensive thing that a building will occur past the initial construction. So not taking care of that asset can be costly. Not choosing the right application can be costly. And as you all know, if you're working in the building industry, roofing replacements are expensive projects, both from time and from a cost perspective, but then also the inconvenience to the building itself as well. Next slide, please. So after we've got to this, we talk about the cost of not budgeting for maintenance. This portrays a couple of different scenarios, both surrounding a 25,000 square foot roof. And what we're looking at here is, we spent an initial $10 per square foot to install the roof. And we talked about how reactive maintenance is 3 to 5 times more expensive than planned proactive maintenance programs. So we're going to allocate 4 cents a square foot for maintaining a roof under an asset management program, and 15 cents per square foot annually to make reactive repairs, meaning we come out once something fails and we break it before it causes a bigger issue. And in this analysis, we're going to go ahead and assume that baseline roof, when properly installed, will last 25 years. And without any maintenance, we just turn our back on this roof asset, it's going to fail within the first 15 years. In the both scenarios, we've not planned for any reactive expenses in the first 5 years. So we're just doing our maintenance on our ramp program, our planned maintenance on the left, and on the right side, we're actually going ahead and planning for nothing in the first 5 years, but then, that roof starts going bad quickly, and we have reactive expenses at 15 cents per square foot. And we can look at what the initial investment is of a 20-year roof system comparative to performing a ramp, where you spent $250,000 up front. You have this 4 cents per square foot installation cost. And, we really stop right there, right? Where we're spending, just about $300,000 over the 20-year term to have that asset. In comparison to the right stack, where, this roof failed at 15 years, we have another roof replacement happening 10 years earlier, nearly putting a double, more than a double on our cost expense to replace that roof in that same 25-year window. Instead of spending that $300,000, we're now almost approaching $650,000 to maintain. So when we look at that and we start talking about cost of ownership, the roof absolutely costs you something. You put the money in up front, and you're expecting to get a return on that by either being able to live in this building or generate your revenue, your income out of this building. Yearly cost of ownership of the same 20-year roof system with a ramp program costs you $11,000 a year. With no maintenance program, reactive repairs, and then having to replace that roof under its warranted time frame, which, again, roll back to that last slide, 80% of the roofs that we put down fail early. That asset's costing you $28,000 a year to own. So it's really a dramatic difference, right, in both the capital you have to put out there, the time that it takes you, and in maintaining. And a lot of these studies are funded by the Department of Defense, Roofing Contractors Association. These are verified studies taking in, accounts of folks just like yourselves, building owners, managers, property managers. So this is really insightful data. Keep going. All right, so that's budgeting for roof replacements and maintenance. Maintenance we talked about. So what we're looking at here, maintenance is required, and that's the biggest thing that I take down here is the bottom half of this slide. NDL warranties. You get a warranty, and they hand you a piece of paper after we put on a new roof, and it says, hey, you got a 20-year warranty. These things do not cover maintenance, and maintenance is required. The manufacturer, in the event of a warranty claim, will absolutely ask for your maintenance documents in the event of a significant warranty claim. Day-to-day leaks, you might not see anything, but you have to do this maintenance. And beyond that, you have all of these benefits of long-term ownership cost and longevity of the roof system by doing this maintenance. Some backup to the unplanned cost repairs. U.S. Air Force did a multi-year maintenance study. I talked about this earlier. 600 million square feet was analyzed. And that data that I use showing the difference between 4 cents a square foot of proactive maintenance, 15 cents per square foot reactive maintenance is where we generated that previous slide from. So, proactive maintenance, guys, is something that we should absolutely be looking at from a cost-saving strategy. And you can't forget that just because you have a warranty doesn't mean we can turn our back on the rooftop. Next slide. Time for a quick poll. 3 questions, love to get a lot of answers. Do you know where your warranty documents are? yes, no, or no with a hint of panic, you might be in trouble. Storm season is 6 months, so you got a little bit of time. All right, 66% of the poll coming in as a yes, which is a really good number. So kudos to whoever's doing your document control and keeping track of all of these things. We'll talk briefly on the types of warranties that are in the marketplace right now. Manufacturers' warranties come in different flavors. The kind of tallest to highest tier that we have is a no dollar limit warranty. That means it's not prorated throughout the term of the warranty. So if you have a 30-year warranty, if the roof was to fail in year 28, you would get full dollar replacement value for that. So it's a full system warranty. It covers your flashings, your insulation systems, your adhesives, all of your flashings. But most importantly, it's not prorated throughout the term of the life of the system. Manufacturers' material warranties are completely different. And that is just simply saying that the material won't fail. So what does that mean? It's not covering the workmanship in the installation of the system holistically. It's only covering the materials themselves from being free of defect. The NDL warranty actually covers both our workmanship as an installing contractor and the materials of the entire system itself. In the NDL scenario, you're actually in partnership with a roofing manufacturer and your roofing contractor. All contractors, by being certified manufacturers, back a certain portion of that warranty with our own warranty, and then the manufacturer takes over for the balance of that. Places where we often see material warranties, maybe it's in that 5-year window where we're looking at a short-term hold for a property that doesn't have long runway, or we may be turning it over. We also see it a lot in the coatings business where, hey, I can get a 20-year warranty with this coating. And you can, but oftentimes you're getting a 20-year material warranty that has nothing to do with the installation or the craftsmanship. So that's something to look out for, where you might be being sold a 20-year warranty, which means that, your silicone coating will be there in 20 years. That's great, but is it watertight? Is it actually still adhered to the roof? These are questions you have to ask yourself because you're not getting any coverage from the actual installation craftsmanship side of the equation. Manufacturer's labor and material warranty. This is different than an NDL warranty in the fact that it is prorated over the term, and it necessarily doesn't cover the entire cost of the system. So it has a limit to its potential repairs. But more importantly, if it fails in year 10 of a 20-year warranty, at most you're going to be getting 50% coverage. And then you have your contractor's warranty. I talked about this earlier. In an NDL scenario, you still get a contractor's warranty, and because we're required to support that manufacturer's warranty. But beyond that, Advanced, for instance, will extend our contractor's warranty as long as you're under a maintenance agreement with us. And that just means that we stand behind our craftsmanship for the term that you're engaged with us in a maintenance program. And you can get a contractor's warranty without getting any of the other manufacturer's warranties as well. Sometimes in a low-cost scenario, you'll try to cut that 15 or 20 or 30 cents a square foot that it cost out to get that manufacturer's warranty, cut it out of a bid. And that's a strategy that some people do put in place. Next slide. What lies beyond the initial investment? We showed this slide to kind of show the difference in choosing different roof systems and the quality of the membranes that you choose. We see different membranes weathering dramatically different here in South Florida between our harsh environment with the salt air, the UV exposure that's out there from the sun, and our heat, thermal expansion and contraction. Choosing a quality roof membrane can have an enormous effect on how much it costs you as well. In this scenario we're looking at here, we're looking at choosing a TPO roof with a 20-year warranty versus a PVC membrane with a 30-year warranty. And in this scenario, we assume that actually both of these are underneath a ramp program. So you're going to get your expected life out of them, 20 years and 30 years. You're also going to spend that same 4 cents a square foot in maintenance over the term of the life of the roof. And we figure all of these things out, and then we levelize that on what it would cost you to own that asset. Now, we look at it here, $10 a square foot to install that 20-year roof, $11 a square foot to install that 30-year roof, a 10% increase in the capital expense up front. But look what it does to your yearly cost of ownership. It's over 50% less expensive by spending 10% more. So obviously anyone can do the math. We get an extra 10 years on a 20-year life. That's 50%. It's actually more than that. The average cost of ownership of that 20-year TPO is $23,000 a year. And that 30-year PVC is $10,000 a year. If you have somebody who's committed to doing maintenance, spending that extra 10% gets you a dramatically more efficient mechanism from a cost perspective on your roof. Now, the worst thing you could do is buy a premium roof and fail to maintain it. That would be, an absolute disaster. But by committing to doing that maintenance, we can see here that, buying a 30-year roof, maintaining it and getting that term brings you a really great return comparative to, a 20-year TPO. And I think Michael and myself will be the first to tell you, we look at a lot of roofs and we see TPOs in the Florida marketplace failing under 20 years often. TPO by design is made to actually weather its top waterproofing coating through oxidation. So every time it rains, little micrometers of your membrane end up down the drain. And between the salt and the heat and the extreme weather here in Florida, we see TPOs being exposed to scrim all the time, well below that 20-year lifetime. So this is a good slide to consider. Picking the right membrane, picking the right warranty term, and understanding what that does for cost. Go get bids for both options and look at it. These are things that you can easily kind of analyze and see where you're getting the best return. Next slide. Some quick budgeting and budget planning. We like to give everybody this cheat sheet here. Roof repairs, this is when you need to come out and call one of our techs out. $170 per hour. That's for a 2-man team to come out and make reactive repairs. Roof coatings and restorations. This is that roof that maybe is not ready for a replacement, needs more than repairs. We're going to come out and put a coating on $5 to $8 per square foot. A recover or a retrofit, meaning we're actually going to put a new roof membrane over your existing roof, $6 to $12 a square foot. Complete tear off down to a structural deck, 12 to 20 on a low-rise apartment buildings, office buildings. Mid-rise 4 to 8 stories, $16 to $23 per square foot. High-rise over 23 to 33. Now, all of those last three that we just gave you, if you need to add tapered insulation, add $8 a square foot to all three of those complete tear-off numbers. Rob mentioned our HVAC division, advanced air systems. Obviously, you got to give us a call. Chiller units are dramatically different than split, air conditioners and condensers. So anything changes with that, lightning protection systems as well. Stucco wall waterproofing, needing to, waterproof your walls. We see this a lot, guys, where we get called for roof leaks. We come out and it's a vertical wall that's actually leaking behind our flashings. It's something to keep an eye on when you're out there doing maintenance programs, walking your facilities is the conditions of your walls. But waterproofing walls, $5 to $8 a square foot, very similar to your roof coatings. Next slide. With that, I am going to turn it over to Michael Cornarens. I'm not the only one who looks a lot younger in his bio picture, but Mike and I have been working together for 18 years, and he's a plethora of knowledge in the roofing industry, and somebody I have a lot of respect for. So, Michael.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. I'm going into your favorite topic. I see a lot of questions coming on the board here about the insurance companies. Next slide there, Todd. So there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of stuff going on. You've got the new bill, Senate Bill 4D that passed. That officially goes into effect at the end of 2024. But the insurance companies are taking a lot of guidance on it. I'm going to make some comments today and talk through some scenarios with everybody, but it's not always cut and dry with these insurance companies. And I would encourage you to push back. I'm looking at some of the questions on the board of, we have a 30-year-old roof that's very well maintained. Why won't the insurance company renew it? And it's not leaking today. I've seen different scenarios, and I've seen customers get that passed with their insurance companies for a little bit of a premium. And I've seen insurance companies put a hard line no on it. I can tell you that if you have maintenance records, going along the lines of what Clint's presentation was earlier, that it's an easier fight or debate with the insurance company on the survivability of your roof. Now, in the 4D code, Senate bill, they have from 2007 on that you can, if more than 25% of your roof gets damaged and your roof insulation was done on the 2007 code or later, you don't have to replace the whole roof. It used to be that if you had more than 25% damage, you had to replace the whole roof. This is really good news for the industry, for your customers, and for your buildings. So in my opinion, what I'm seeing a lot of these insurance companies hang their hat on is roofs that are older than 2007. They're taking this opportunity to make you re-roof them on your renewals coming up, or at least get the process started. That is opening the door for that. Now, they cannot make you re-roof your building in the 15 years. Now, there's some question whether it's kind of written around residential. Is the condo market around residential? Is it not around residential? Or multifamily? I've heard different interpretations of that, and I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to go into it. But with that said, the insurance companies 2007 seem to do that. Now the question comes, are they going to make me re-roof my building every 15 years? I don't believe so. From what I'm seeing in the marketplace, what they want to see is a well-maintained asset that is up to current code. And I think what the industry is saying is 2007 on, the wind codes were in standards that everybody can live with. So that's what they're trying to get all these roofs up to that standard. I was on a panel about 6 months ago, and it was a staggering number that 70% of the cost of the money that insurance companies are spending are all on lawyer fees, not on the actual settlement of claims or paying out to the customers, or on legal fees. So this bill will hopefully clean some of that stuff up as it goes into effect, and insurance companies can get back to insuring real losses and not legal fees as well. So to answer some of the questions, no, I believe it's 2007 on is what I'm seeing. Are they going to make you re-roof it after 20 years? I've seen insurance customers get 25-year-old roofs that are done right, renewed. Helped them with the process, showed them the engineering of when we originally did it. They went above and beyond in those installations. And they were able to get it through insurance companies. So that goes to spending the right money, having the right consultants, and installing it right up front. What you cannot do with these insurance companies, what we were seeing 3 to 4 years ago, is that we had great roofs, coal tar pitch roofs. They've been around forever, 100 years. And I've seen plenty of 40-year-old coal tar roofs today that are still in great condition, but maybe the attachment isn't as well. But what we've done over these roofs over the years, every 20 years, we go up and remove the gravel on them, they're low slope roofs, and install a new layer of coal tar, rejuvenate the system, and new gravel. And those roofs are still performing today, maybe fix some flashings. But what we're seeing is that the restorations, the coatings, the insurance companies aren't going for that on as a new roof. I believe that was a couple questions in the chat. They do not consider coating, restoration, a new roof because you're not refastening the roof. Most roofs fail at the perimeter edge, the wood nailers or a penetration, and go from there. And then they don't have the proper securement in the roof system. So with proper maintenance and a properly fastened roof that's after 2007, you're going to have a lot better argument and backup with insurance companies to not have to re-roof in a more frequent nature. But they are going up, and we are dealing with a lot of inspections where customers put a brand new roof on 10 years ago, and did no maintenance, had HVAC guys up there slashing the roof, and there's moisture in the roof. And we're going to go through some examples of that in a little bit, where once moisture gets in that roof system, it starts to delaminate over time. There's things you can do to prevent it and go a little bit further backwards and stop it. But once you get water in there, it's not a good situation. So that's where the insurance going. It's a little bit of the Wild West, I'll be honest with you. There's I've seen different customers do different things with insurance companies, and there's not always the same answer. I don't have that for you today, but I can tell you can challenge insurance companies. I've seen customers challenge them with engineering and get things passed with the different insurance providers that are out there. One other note before we jump to my case study is strapping of the trusses on if you have 2-story, 3-story wood deck, sloped roofs. There's a lot of stuff out there that I've learned in the last couple of years with the different types of strapping. There is rumors that they're going to revisit that the credit form with Citizens, because it's kind of annotated that some of the clips that are out there are better than straps, but they give you better credits for straps. So buyer beware, make sure you really understand what you're buying when you're getting your straps, and check with your insurance company that you're actually going to be able to get the credit. I've seen some engineers specify stuff in projects that we worked on, and we installed it, and the customer thought they were getting this credit, and at the end of the job, insurance company said, no, you only get a clip credit versus a strap credit. Meanwhile, the engineering shows that it exceeds the strap credit. So make sure if you're restrapping, your trusses or doing those natures, that you're checking with the insurance company up front, and that they're going to actually get the proper credit that's in everybody's expectations. So you don't have any upset customers at their boards at the end of the day. So now we're going to go on to a case study in Miami. This is a building that we re-roofed. We negotiated with the customer. It came down to budgets. At the end of the day, we put a nice sloped roof on the areas that are not in the boxes there. Nice single ply roof or a modified roof, and then the customer didn't have the funds to do these terraces. The terrace were private terrace by the building owners with tile on them that eventually got removed after they discovered that issues. We proposed to do those roofs, and the water migrated from that section, even with the concrete wall, into the other roof deck. So the customer was trying to save some money on this scenario, but at the end of the day, the water migrates. Water always finds a way to go somewhere, and it went under the system. The reason I wanted to talk through this is that, one, proper maintenance right on the roof you install, but two, you need to look at the whole envelope, and that's what this legislation is requiring. Because I can't tell you how many times we install a nice brand new roof, and we inform the customer of other roof decks that are tying in, even though you have a wall to that those need to be done as well, but they don't want to do them where there's issues because that they're privately held, and the private residents don't want to do it, and then it ends up in a big legal battle between, we just put $1.5 million roof on this building. Now they got to tear up $500,000 of this new roof because it's got moisture all in it. Because they didn't spend the extra money and do the terrace, or I see it a lot on mechanical walls, things of that nature, mechanical rooms, penthouse rooms that don't get properly waterproofed either, or they have a flood out in the mechanical room and they don't contact anybody or roofer, and that water that floods out in the mechanical room gets into their brand new roof system, and then the moisture over time through heat cycles will delaminate and cause issues down the road. So we got to make sure the terrace and everything's done. Next topic is some new toys that we've been playing with. We started this technology primarily in our solar business to do takeoffs with the LiDAR cameras on the drones for measurements. We've gone over into this year into actually flying with thermal. We've always used thermal, handheld thermals up on the roof to pinpoint things. But this example here with City Furniture is their new distribution center out in Plant City that we did from new construction up. And this one, is a good example from the standpoint of we re-roofed this whole building. It's a couple acres, and they had some chronic leaks 6 months or a year after the install. We were always going out there trying to address them. As you can imagine, a roof that's a couple acres long, it's hard to find every hole on these types of installations. But we were scratching our heads at one point. We didn't think it was our roof. We didn't know that. So we went up and we flew it with our thermal drone cameras that we used it as a test pilot, and that's what sold me on the technology, to be honest with you. And we figured out that the water was coming through an improper HVAC fitting on the roof. It was migrating up through, and after a lot of collaboration with HVAC guys, we've been out there for 6 months trying to find this. We figured out there was a seal that wasn't put in these HVAC stands, and that you couldn't see from the upside, and the water was wicking through the roof system by using the drones. So the good news is that we have these tools in our toolbox now. We can fly the condos, and we can see where the water is coming through using the drones. We can pinpoint it. We did find some holes out in the roof that we couldn't find by visually. It got us into a 10 by 10 area, and we were able to get on our hands and knees and find them as well. So it's a great tool in the toolbox that we'll be rolling out this year. If you have a hard to find leak on a wall or something like that, it's really nice to fly it and use technology and get some hard data to work off of, and then just using your eyes, at the end of the day. Next slide. Here's just some examples. This is actually this is another condo down in Miami where we put a new roof on the Volt roof, and then figured out their roofs were shot. There was no question about that, but they still had a couple reoccurring leaks. And we stayed with the customer and figured it out. And we were able to find out, if you can see in that middle picture there, the water was coming in through a hairline crack in the wall, and then coming into the roof system. So we were able to figure that out for the customer. And there was actually a crack on the top of the wall that we were able to track down that you couldn't see, crawling around the roof, looking around, unless you got on I think it was like an 8 or 12 foot ladder and looking down on the top of the wall. So the technology is great. I encourage you, if you have hard to find stuff, you can reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to work with you on finding those issues. And we're actually implementing a process where we're going to be flying every job at the end of the project, and going into 2025. It's a year out, but it's going to be a great tool to let everybody know what they have and what issues you may have out there that you need to address or budget for down the road. Next slide. I'm going to turn it over to my counterpart, Julian. Julian's a great asset to the team, is down in Miami, running the service branch down there and small scope production jobs, and turn it over to him to spread his knowledge to you guys.
Thank you, Mike, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thanks for joining our webinar today. Today, I'll be talking about roof asset management and how the technology can help you out in managing your roofs. So let's start with a poll. Let's give it a few seconds to have the question, but in the meantime, the poll is, how do you currently budget for your roofs? And we have three options. We have experience, work with a consultant, or actually budgeting. And I would anticipate to say that I don't believe that there is a right or wrong question here. I do believe that here on the audience and in the industry, there is a lot of knowledge and experience that could contribute to making good decisions. Also, we always advise our customers to work with reputable consultants that can help you out putting specs together, so you can have bids that are apples to apples. And then actually budgeting, which is the topic of today's presentation on my side, would actually help you out making those decisions. So it seems that the audience shared that view. So thanks. Let's start by saying that the most important tool that a building owner or a property manager has is property information. The more information you have, the more accurate decision you would make. So we have developed Advanced Access, which is a cloud-based roof asset management portal that can help you out having all that information on a cloud, right? So as long as you have any smart device and internet, you will be able to log and see all your roof-related documents. We can go from inspections reports, budget reports, all the service repair history, maintenance history, invoicing for previous work you've done on your roofs, and also the warranties. At the beginning, we were asking if you knew where your warranty was. As long as you have advanced access, you will be able to have the warranty in a single place, which would be the cloud, and you will be able to access any document as long as you have a smart device. So that's basically what advanced access is. We will be playing a short video so we have a better understanding on how it works.
Early with roofing issues. She's spending most of her time coordinating maintenance and repairs, analyzing reports, and budgeting for future projects, all while frantically searching for her roof's important documents when issues arise. And to complicate matters, all of Nicole's properties have different roof systems and life cycles, making routine asset management nearly impossible. Nicole was feeling frustrated and overwhelmed, trying to manage all of her roofs using different paper forms and spreadsheets, when she heard about the Advanced Access Roof Asset Management Portal from Advanced Roofing, Inc. In business since 1983, Advanced Roofing, Inc. is ranked as the #1 commercial roofing company in Florida by Roofing Contractor Magazine and specializes in roof replacements, repairs, and maintenance services for occupied buildings in Florida. Advanced Roofing implemented the Advanced Access Roof Asset Management Portal to help its customers achieve the maximum life cycle from their roofing assets through preventative maintenance, while feeling safe and secure by having complete control over their roofs 24/7, 365 days a year. From any internet-ready device, Nicole can now view all of her roof's information in one location, dispatch service with the click of a button, track work orders in real time, see photos from repairs, view warranty documents, and build custom reports for budgeting. Everything she needs is uploaded to her customer portal seamlessly and can be viewed from anywhere, anytime, even from the beach. With advanced access, Nicole can now streamline her roofing projects for good, allowing her to concentrate on what matters most, ensuring a safe environment for her tenants and saving money for her properties. So, if you're a building owner or property manager with multiple buildings to care for, don't get overwhelmed. Get advanced access. Be like Nicole and free yourself from the stress of roof asset management. To schedule your free demonstration of the Advanced Access Roof Asset Management Portal, contact Advanced Roofing today.
All right. So as you see in the video, basically it all starts by reaching out to us. We can do some pre-work at the office where we do some aerial imagery of your property. We identify different sections, and then we dispatch service technician that what they do is, with their expertise, they are going to walk the entire property, and we are going to put reports together with mainly 3 things. First, we're going to do a full inventory of your roof, where we're going to let you know the exact condition of each one of the items that sits on your roof. That will be the observations part. Then we're going to identify any deficiencies that we find. We're going to give you quantities, and we will give you cost to repair them, so it can assist you with your future budgets. And then once we gather all the data, we're going to give you some recommendations, either if it's to repair, if it's to code, or if it's to replace the roof, as Clint was saying, with the life cycle of a roof. Next slide, please. Here you will see a couple of pictures. The pictures on the left, it's an aerial view of a property where we have numbered each one of the deficiencies. So what we do is let you know each one of the sections, the size, the square footage for each section. We use aerial imagery to determine the age of the roof. If we don't have access to the actual installation date, we can go to Google Earth and go back in time and have a pretty good understanding of when the roof was installed, and then grade the roof. We grade them from A to F, being A, the recently installed roof in good shape, and F being a roof that has reached its useful life. So we give you a very good indication of how the property looks once we put the report together. The picture on the right, So what we do again is go in, walk the roofs, identify deficiencies, and we will let you know if those deficiencies are either remedial or emergency. When you find remedial deficiencies are the ones that may be creating issues in the future, but are not as important as the emergency ones. The emergency ones are actually the deficiencies on the roof that are creating water intrusion or most likely will be creating water intrusion in the short term. So this is a great tool that could help you. If you have a limited budget, you most likely would like to address the emergency deficiencies first. So it's a very good tool that can help you out on making those decisions. In order to help you out with budgeting, the software has something which is called Budget Matrix. And basically what it does is help you out being proactive. As Clint was saying, being proactive is going to save you thousands of dollars. It's 4 cents per square foot in a repair compared to 15 cents on a repair when you wait until the problem arises. So by having a report, creating a baseline of your building, you're proactively managing your assets. And most importantly, you are going to make sure that it lasts as expected. Let's say you have a 20-year NDL warranty. You want to make sure as building owner or property manager that the roof lasts the 20-year. And by putting these reports together, being proactive on any action that you take on the roof, this would most likely will take you to the 20-year. Our reports give you remedial repairs cost, emergency repairs. When we consider that the roof has failed, we give you a re-roof budget. And before that, if the roof has had some time, but is still in good condition, we can give you coating budgets. One good thing about these reports is that you can narrow it down you can go from the whole portfolio of your properties and you can narrow it down as little as to a section of a specific building. On this specific picture, you will see a specific section when where we let you know what emergency repairs you need, what remedial repairs you need. And on this case, this was a roof that was AD, so it was in rough shape. We give you a budget to replace. So if you see at the bottom of the picture, you will see a total of the cost that it would take to put the roof in either good condition or to replace it if that's the case. So this report is at the section level. And then you can have the reports run at the property level, where you will have a summary of the entire building. So if you see this report, you will have the warehouse, the office, the shipping, and the canopy roofs, and then you will have total cost for the emergency repairs. Let's say that you would like to start your managing this roof by addressing all the emergency. You will know exactly how much money you would have to invest in this roof, at least to put it on a watertight condition. So very powerful tool in terms of budgeting. And also, once you put together these reports, and this is very handy for, let's say, regional managers, where they have several properties under their umbrella. This kind of reports will give you a big picture of how much money you would need to put on each one of your properties. So the idea is that you have several alternatives in order to run budget reports. So as you see, the Advanced Access have all these features to run reports from a very detailed part of it to a very wide and a very big overview, big picture of all the properties that you have. As I was saying, when the roofs are reaching its useful life, we will also provide budget numbers, which are pretty accurate based on our experience. So as regional directors or managers, you will have a good understanding of where you should be putting your money in the next few years. Let's say that you already know that the roof has failed and you have a budget for it, then it gives you time to start putting those numbers together and re-roof it when it's necessary and not wait until it's a complete failure of the roof. Another nice feature for advanced access is that you could customize these reports. Let's say that you have a meeting with the board of directors. You could export all of this to Excel and you can customize it as per your needs, right? So it's a very interesting feature that the report has as well. And also at this time of the year, when it's dry, we highly encourage our customers to book your free inspection. Not only because you will be creating a baseline for your building, you are being proactive in managing your assets, you are doing all your due diligence to make sure that the roof performs as expected, but also because this is the perfect time of the year. Rainy season is, as we were saying, we have hurricane season starting in June, rain season is starting on May. So little things could go a long way. One good example is replacing some deteriorated sealant on a roof. The cost of it is going to be marginal compared to if you wait until May when the rain season starts and then you have lots of water damage, water in the system, water in the insulation, and then the headache becomes bigger. So I would highly encourage you to book your free inspection. Let's start the year fresh with a nice understanding of how your roof looks. So helps you out managing and making good decisions. We have here our key account executives for each one of the regions. They will be shared at the end of the presentations, depending on the area that you are. These are great people that can assist you and can provide great customer service as well. Now I'm going to give back to Ashley. That's the end of my presentation. So Ashley, the mic is yours.
Thanks for watching. For more great educational content, click the subscribe button now.